Hello everyone, it's me Goose. How you doing? Okay, so this is going to be a real quick and short video on the H3H3 lawsuit win that just happened yesterday as of the recording of this video, and what that actually means for YouTubers all around, which means I won't do much heavy editing, so this may come off as sloppily made, but hey, I just wanted to get on this train while there was still coal in the fire. In other words, I'm a bandwagoning fuckboy. So if you haven't already heard about the H3H3 lawsuit, let me try and summarize it as best as I possibly can. So essentially what happened was Ethan and Gila of the channel H3H3 was being sued by a man by the name of Matt Haas, who is another YouTuber whom they've made fun of in the past for one of his videos. Needless to say, the video in question was very cringy and badly acted and all that in a bag of chips, so it was easy fodder for the two of them to make fun of. Matt Haas, of course, did not appreciate their commentary and felt as if they were illegally using footage from his video for their video, which infringed on his copyrighted work. So he slammed the lawsuit their way, a lawsuit that has been worked on for 1.5 years. Yeah, that's how a fair and speedy trial works. And of course, Ethan Gila Klein won the case. All that for fucking nothing. Almost. I mean, it almost just seems like common sense, right? But we'll get into that. Understand that this win for H3H3 is a rather big win for YouTubers all over. Although you have to remember that people like Matt Haas exist all over the world. People who are quickly offended and are so far up their own asses that they'll just sue people who disagree or make fun of them. However, this win helps people realize just what it is fair use truly means. You see that word being slung around every day here on YouTube. Fair use this, fair use that, etc. People feel as if they understand what true fair use is, but so many have failed to truly grasp what it is the legal system says what fair use actually does. The video H3H3 made was, as stated by the judge, the quintessential example of what a transformative video is. Not this whole reaction video shit where people just watch an entire video and not do anything or even fucking say much. No, it was this silly little video these two made that defines fair use. Just watch the video Ethan and Gila made to see what I mean. The judge says it way better. Keep in mind, however, this win doesn't necessarily mean that unnecessary lawsuits will cease. Lawsuits are still a costly thing, and more often than not, the people who sue you are only doing it because they know they're in a position where they can sue you into submission so that you'd have to give in to their demands. Even after H3H3 raised $170,000 to help combat their lawsuit, it still wasn't enough, and they eventually had to take out money from their own pockets to pay their lawyer, which I imagine still costed quite a bit of money. And this is H3H3 we're talking about. They make quite a bit of money every month from ad revenue alone. I don't know if they're millionaires by any means, but they're still making a bit of bank off of this website. If this lawsuit hit a much smaller YouTuber, Matt Haas would have had this before the trial even started. So people like him will always be there. Companies will always sue people for being too offensive and claim it's slandering. Or in this case, they'll claim it's a righteous cause, like protesting artists' rights, when we all knew that was bullshit. So there's no stopping lawsuits from being wrongfully given. However, I feel as though this can still renew confidence in people who are afraid of making those kind of videos. It can help all of us in understanding what it is to be a content creator and what it is to use fair use to your advantage. Because make no mistake, this will not be the last major lawsuit a YouTuber will have to face. But if Matt Haas had won the case, it would have set a negative precedent that anyone can just walk all over any YouTuber and sue them for even more nonsensical reasons. This is the thing we needed as content creators, especially considering that last year was a huge year for YouTube, as fair use was in question time and time again as YouTube brought down the hammer and became far more strict on their rules, so much so that we still see those effects today. I've been personally wanting a trial like this to happen for some time now. There have always been empty threats of lawsuits all over the place, and sometimes people give in to demand because we can't all afford it. This now shows that there's almost nothing to fear. People can't just bully people with lawsuits and expect the court to be on their side all the time. This is a sort of cautionary tale for any would-be assholes who are trigger happy with lawsuits. It cannot and will not work in their favor. Unless, you know, they sue people without money, in which case, yeah, that kind of fucking sucks, doesn't it? I guess this is more of a moral victory than it is a legal one. You know, it's surprising, honestly. I'm no lawyer, but even I could tell that this was totally in H3H3's favor. Yet there were so many things that could have gone wrong. The judge Ethan and Hila got could have been completely oblivious about the landscape of YouTube itself, and they probably could have lost. If she was unfamiliar of the website or how it operates, this could have been a completely different story. Or if their lawyer was just a complete buffoon and just had no grasp of the judicial system, this could have been bad. But thankfully their lawyer was on top of this all the way through, and the judge was surprisingly knowledgeable about the website and the landscape of content creation, which was a fantastic thing, and her judgment sets the tone for the future. And like I said, for any would-be assholes that are just so up their own asses that they don't want other people to criticize them just because they're not a critic or just because they don't have that kind of authority. We all have freedom of speech, especially on YouTube. We can say whatever we want, and we should never be afraid of that. In the end, I'm thankful for this, really. This was quite a magical thing, honestly. You know, it's not the first time that a YouTuber has been sued over this kind of shit. Jim Sterling was hit with a lawsuit quite a long time ago. Actually, it was settled this year, but he was hit with a lawsuit after reviewing a game negatively. Now that's just bullshit because he is a critic. That is what he does. And the fact that they were claiming that it was slander or some shit was nonsensical. But of course he won and it was settled with. But this was the first time that someone on YouTube was given a lawsuit for YouTube things. You know, that Jim Sterling thing was just a gaming related story. This, in fact, was not. This was more of a YouTube story. This was about videos online, and it put into question what kind of videos can we really make until someone just gets so triggered that they have to hit us with a lawsuit. And the answer is they can't get really far unless, of course, they go after someone without money. You know, like I said, this isn't going to solve everything. In fact, I would say it doesn't solve much at all. But there is still that lingering success story that will help people in the future. All I can say is just keep an eye out for those kinds of people, because this will happen again. And when it does, you have to support them, whether you're a fan of their content or not. If anybody ever wins this kind of lawsuit just for plain fair use, then that would just spell disaster for the entire website, if not the internet as a whole. But anyways, guys, tell me what you guys think about this whole lawsuit thing. Am I being over dramatic about it? I feel like I probably am, just a tiny bit. But hey, it's nice to be optimistic once in a while, especially on this nihilistic platform that's seemingly dying and that has pretty much no spine or balls at all. Just goes to show that the people who create content here are the ones with the loudest voice. YouTube has pretty much no power left, and I guess that's what scares them, really. But whatever, that's a totally different topic. I'm getting out of hand here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you like this video, subscribe. I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't even know who I am because, like I said, this is probably going to get me a lot of views because I'm talking about H3H3, but whatever. If you're not familiar with me, I talk about gaming stuff mostly and sometimes other stuff that interests me. Well, subscribe, motherfuckers. You'll find out what I make. If you like it, just stay. If you don't, then stay, please. I'm desperate. Alright, thank you all so very much for watching. I will see you all next time. I love you all. Goodbye.